If you go Berserkers, then you say, okay, I'm going to build in more attack speed, but you will have less attack speed because your Q gives you more than Berserkers, and you won't have your Q up all the time. With Ionians, you will, right? Yeah. So Ionians give you more attack speed than Berserker creeps on Tristana. That's basically what I'm saying. Clearly already, after missing her Q, she was not willing to walk up anymore. Here you can see, look, she misses Q. She is not willing to walk up anymore. She's not showing any intention. So at this point, I would only attack Jinx with the Q, but never EN. I would attack Jinx with the Q to zone her off of attacking my support. So this is fine that you trade, but not EN, because you don't want to all-in, because then you're going to be in the 1 versus 2 situation. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And now, look what happens is, your Lee Sin is up, and now you do Baron, right? And now you have a free Baron. So why did we do the Baron before? Not to take the Baron. We took it to now take the Baron. Because now Zed is dead. Now Jinx is dead. Now it's free. So W up. I have E up again. Q up again. E up again. W up again. E up again. Q up again. Yeah, you can play around with this. It's insane, actually.
Holy shit. I'm doing good, man. After years of playing League, now I decided, you know what? I want to learn something. I want to try to be at least like good, you know what? Like carry my own weight.
All right. Happy to hear it. And the first thing I would like to ask you though is, what would you think is a reason why every single season you didn't drop, you didn't go to bronze, you didn't go to iron, you always like even in like you always stayed almost the same, right? You went to gold 4, gold 3, so here you had a spike, right? So you did improve, but like across all these seasons, you relatively stayed the same. Like silver, gold is somewhat the same. So you relatively stayed the same. Why would that be? Why did you not drop? Why did you not climb massively? What do you think is a reason for that?
I mean, the first season that I got to gold, that I ended in gold, I think, in 2020 season, I think in season 7 or 8, I went to gold, then I dropped back down. Yeah, I used to play a lot at that time, but I think I switched to Fortnite at the time. But I would say the reason that I didn't climb more than gold is because I would stop playing in season, like let's say 2021. I stopped playing when I got to gold 3, right? And I never looked at it as like I want to learn more. Let's say season 2022, I think I played maybe for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't play all that much. So the reason is that, well, I didn't play all that much because I just didn't have the time, and I would get like, it would mess with my head when I would lose.
Yeah.
But more important than that is just, I'm just shit.
Let me quickly see. So you run a lot of heal in your runes, right? You go a lot of flash heal. You only go flash heal from what I see here.
Flash heal, yeah.
Yeah, so that for me would already be the first change. I almost never go heal in my games. Like, very rarely. Like, if I play 10 games, at the very maximum, I'm going to play 1 game with heal. Because there's just better Cinder spells. Now, heal is going to become more popular. Because, right, what would you, like, trade heal for? Well, the most viable options would be Exhaust, Cleanse, or Ghost. Ghost is one of my favorites. But the problem with Ghost is it has already been nerfed. It's still somewhat viable, but they're going to nerf it again next patch. So we're going to have to look into newer options, and potentially heal is going to become a little bit more popular again, right? So heal I will pick it a little bit more next patch. For now, still, Exhaust and Cleanse and Ghost are very good options. Okay. Ghost allows you to completely take over mid game and late game by being able to space properly and position properly with your extra movement speed and run away from CC. Exhaust helps you if you play versus, for example, if we look at like 11 deaths, 10 deaths. These are not always games because you play, like, because you position wrongly, but it's rather like you still position wrongly, but it's typically against champions or comps. Like here we can look at it, champions or comps who can easily collapse you. Like a Nautilus can easily collapse you, right? Annie can flash ult onto you. Amumu wants to collapse you. Jax wants to get onto you with stun, right? So this is already like the show's already full comp that wants to get onto you. But then when we go to this game here, I see all of this CC. You could go for Cleanse, right? You could go for Cleanse. Or when they have something like a Master E here, Trundle. All champions who wants to get onto you and just destroy you. Going Exhaust in these champions is really good, right? So things like that. So switch up your summoner spells. That's going to be my first tip. Don't be afraid of switching up your summoner spells and be versatile with that. You do go standard runes, I see. So you never change them up. It's always PTA with inspiration. Is that bad? It's not bad, these runes, but it's bad to always go them. some adjustments that I would make. Do you know a lot about runes? Like, the only thing I'm gonna basically tell you is about the resolve tree. Do you know anything about the resolve tree? Do you know the difference between second wind and bone plating, for example?
See, short answer, no.
I like the fact that you go PTA and then you can go whatever you want on Lucian. You could go this, and typically you can go this. And then for lane, last stand is actually nice. Most ADCs goes this. But last stand could actually be really fun on Lucian because it gives you more damage the lower you get. And as Lucian, you typically want to fight a lot, and then you can get low and you get even more damage. So this is like a very strong page on Lucian. And then, typically in the inspiration tree, people go something like this: cookies for the extra mana to be even more aggressive and have magical footwear, or go magical footwear, for example, with Cosmic Insight to have your flash more up in games where you need it, or if you go exhaust to get that more up into Shaco matchups, things like that. So this could be interesting. The only thing that I would adapt sometimes is sometimes I go into the resolve tree, and the resolve basically says it itself is going to make you a little bit tankier. And then my go-to option is this. These two or these two. You could also go this, but this is in poke lanes. So the difference is with bone plating, we're going to read it here together. After taking damage from an enemy champion, the next 3 spells or attacks you receive from them deal less damage. So when somebody attacks you, you're literally going to tank less damage like in the very beginning of the fight. Right?
Yeah.
So this is good against something like a Fizz, like a LeBlanc, like a Shaco. People who want to get onto you in the mid game, and now they just want to blow you up. But due to bone plating, you're actually going to live. Right? It has a very big impact. Then second wind is basically after taking damage from an enemy champion, heal for 4% of your missing health plus 3 HP over 10 seconds. So basically, if you consistently take damage, think of you play versus Ziggs Seraphine in the bot lane, or Brand Ashe, like a bot lane who is constantly poking you, not dealing a lot of damage at once, but constantly throughout the lane, like annoying you, dealing damage. Second wind is very good against those poke matchups. You might wonder what's the difference here, because this is good against Shaco, but this also... What's the difference? Well, I typically take this if it's also good not only for the mid game, but also for the laning phase. If I play versus Lucian Pantheon, Tristana Pantheon, if I play versus Lucian Nami, if I play versus very aggressive bot lanes, and I need it in the mid game because they have, like, let's say Lucian Pantheon in the bot lane, and then LeBlanc in the mid lane with Shaco jungle. Very aggressive team that is not only aggressive in the mid game because they will blow me up, like the Talon and stuff like that, or the LeBlanc, but in bot lane they will also blow me up. Then bone plating is great. If they will not blow you up in the bot lane, if you play versus something poke or just a normal bot lane, but you do need extra resistance in the mid game, then you do this combo. Because this will only give you resistances after 12 minutes. So it's more of a scaling option for the mid game. This is both for the mid game and for the early game, but this is going to give you more resistances for the mid game than this. Right? So that's the difference. I would argue for Ionian boots almost every single game, because you're just a spell-oriented ADC, and you kind of have to understand that, and you play off of your passive, and that's what makes you strong. So I'm not saying this is completely wrong. I'm not saying it's turbo int, but Ionians are objectively better, so give it a try. You go Berserker Griefs, right? But this doesn't make any sense, because on Tristana it's even more important to go Ionians, because like I said, this here, Navori Quick Blades, together with Ionians, is going to make sure that if you EQ, you will always have your Q up again. It will it will permanently be up in the mid and late game if you go Ionians as well. If you go Berserkers, then you say, okay, I'm going to build in more attack speed, but you will have less attack speed because your Q gives you more than Berserkers, and you won't have your Q up all the time. With Ionians, you will, right? Yeah. So Ionians give you more attack speed than Berserker Griefs on Tristana. That's basically what I'm saying. Because the goal here is not to take the Baron on itself, the goal is to turn onto the Z and kill the Z. And then when your teammates are back up again, Z is going to be dead, and then you can take the Baron. That's my mindset right now. Right? I want to do this Baron so Z comes, then we kill him because we have Exhaust and we have Flash. And then when Lee Sin is up again, Z will be dead. Yeah, you can walk up here. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and now look what happens is your Lee Sin is up, and now you do Baron, right? And now you have a free Baron. So why did we do the Baron before? Not to take the Baron. We took it to now take the Baron, because now Zed is dead, now Jinx is dead, now it's free. Yeah, so this game I would 100% go with the Resolve tree. Yes. So here I wouldn't go bone plating. I would go conditioning. Yes, because bone plating is not going to benefit us that much in lane, And keep in mind, conditioning is stronger in the mid game than bone plating. And in runes you can go exhaust and some other spells. Yeah. Just gonna try it out because I want you to learn to play without heal, switch things up to get you into a different mentality. Because you play versus Tryndamere, Zed, all champions who want to get onto you, even Malphite. If you can exhaust this Tryndamere, exhaust this Zed, he might be useless. Playing versus champions like Zed is very scary in the beginning of a team fight, not in the middle of a team fight. Why? In the beginning of a team fight, Zed is more valuable than you. Why? He has an ult who can one-shot you. But if you wait and he uses that ult on somebody else, or you can exhaust it and make that ability useless, now you become stronger because you have consistent damage. So you're always good as long as there's nobody in the game who has initially more damage than you. And almost every champion has initially more damage or more use than a Lucian. Malphite ult has more, like Malphite with ult up is more useful than a Lucian. Malphite without ult is a lot less useful than Lucian. So an ADC can be stronger than everybody in the game, but first those people need to use their key abilities. Right? So we wait for those abilities and then we fight. And that's why exhaust is so good, because Zed, Tryndamere, they want to go onto you, they want to make you useless, they want to use their ults, you exhaust them, they don't get any value out of their ults because they can't kill you, and now boom, you're super strong to kill everybody and you can do whatever you want. When I play Lucian Morgana, in my mind, the only thing I'm thinking right now, kill level 1. Right? So I'm right now thinking I want to cheese. I want to cheese this bot lane, just sit here, enemies pass by and we just bind them and we kill them. You can also do it here. The problem is they have a little bit more escape routes. If you do it here, they have one escape route. If you do it here, they could go like here, they could walk over the wall flash. So it's also fine to do it here, but the jungler could follow up. So I like to do it here. Also here, they might expect it a little bit more than when you do it here. Only problem is with cheesing, that means that you can't leash. So in chat, I tell my Lee Sin, sorry Lee Sin, but I can't leash. Would you want to go top? That's what I ask. I ask it this friendly, because if I say can't leash, he's going to say what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him, can I can't leash this game, sorry, would you mind starting top? Something like that, right? If he says no, what the fuck, okay, then we help him. We don't do the cheese. The cheese is not worth tilting our jungler from the start of the game. Right? If he allows us to, we do the cheese, otherwise we don't. So if you ever play versus a bot lane like Lucian Morgana, if you were to lose this game, I'm going to teach you this, because you could also do this as a jinx, but typically support should do this. So what should supports do? The game starts, and if they see that they play versus something like Nautilus Draven, Lucian Morgana, they should walk out of base immediately, go here, and place a ward, like in this bush here or in this bush. Right? And then they get out. So that they don't get cheesed. Right, because it's easily avoidable to get cheesed by this. Like you can just walk like this to lane like this, and then you don't get cheesed anyway. But you can't avoid this because you have to walk up to the XP. So if you don't know, it's going to be very scary. Now I say the supports should typically do this. That's true, but the lower elos supports are not going to do this. So don't be afraid of, if you see, hey, I'm playing versus Draven Nautilus, to walk straight out of base and place a ward here. Place a ward here or here. Here right now, you have to think in League in terms of. What I typically like to do is think in League in terms of a triangle when I play bot lane. The triangle right now would be this. A line from me to Jinx and a line from Jinx to Morgana, right? It's always a line from one person to the closest targets next to him, basically. So it's a line from you, who is the closest target next to you, like here, and who is the second closest target next to you. If the answer is Morgana is one, and then the one enemy is the second one, that means, hey, me and Morgana are close to this Jinx, then that looks as to us. Because otherwise, the answer would have been, oh, if there's two people closer to me and they're both enemies, then I have to back off. If one of them, of those two people who are close to me, is my friend, is my support, then I can go in. That's how I like to think about it. So here, look, Jinx is completely overextended. If you walk up, you can take a free trade. What is Lux going to do? Nothing, because Morgana and me are a lot closer to Jinx than Lux is. So whenever Jinx walks up like this, you see this movement, right? She walks up constantly. We shouldn't walk back. Instead, we should walk up and take a trade. And she can't trade back because Morgana can also walk up. You play for you, but you play off of your teammate. Meaning, you play for your goals. You and you always comes first. If you need to roam, but your wave is in a bad spot, you don't roam. In the mid game, I told you multiple times, don't go to the fight yet. Because your mid wave, your gold income is not in a good spot. First push it out, then move. Always first you, then you're going to consistently get fed, and then you go to the team. Right? Yeah. But once you're in the team, You play off of your teammates. You play off of what they do, off of how they position. Here as well, you play for you play for the farm, you play for the gold. But if Morgana walks up, you walk up. If she walks back, you walk back. Because you need to create a synergy with you. But how could there be a synergy with a random player that you've never met? There can't. So you're going to fake one. You can fake synergies by mimicking the movement of your support. What's the issue right now? That we're going to walk back. We should right now walk up. Why? Because Morgana walks up. What if Lux attacks you? Who cares? Who cares if Lux attacks you? You are going to be attacking Jinx with two people here. One person attacking you, Jinx is attacking Morgana, so they are splitting their damage. So who do you think wins? If they split their damage, but you guys, with you, focus your damage onto one person, you guys are going to win. But Morgana walks up, and we walk back. And now what Morgana does looks like a horrible mistake. Because right now, she's basically overextending super hard. But literally like 2-3 seconds ago, she wasn't. Because we walked back. Right? So now we make the mistake. So we should have walked up with Morgana, threatened to Q the enemy, and the second that Morgana misses the Q, that's when you walk back together.
Yeah.
Right? But then if you walk together, they're not going to be as tempted to attack you. But now Morgana, look, she misses Q, and these guys say, okay, we need to attack. Why? Because you weren't here in the first place to guide her out. Right? You were all the way here. Clearly already, after missing her Q, she was not willing to walk up anymore. Here you can see, look, she misses Q. She is not willing to walk up anymore. She's not showing any intention. So at this point, I would only attack Jinx with the Q, but never EN. I would attack Jinx with the Q to zone her off of attacking my support. But this is brilliant. If your support is under fire, and they are not focusing you, you should always fire the enemy ADC. It's as simple as that. You should always in a lane, and 90% of the lanes, focus the ADC, and not the support. They are making a mistake. They are focusing the support. So now you can get free damage onto Jinx. So this is fine that you trade, but not EN, because you don't want to all in, because then you're going to be in a 1 versus 2 situation.
Sure.
Right? You just want to like get a little bit of HP of the Jinx. Problem is, now we're super deep. Morgana didn't have anything to offer. She still doesn't. Very high cooldowns early on, because she's a mage type support. But here, look, she's zoned off right now. She was zoned off. She had to walk away. And that's when you go in. When your support is at the furthest distance that you could potentially be in this lane, that's when you want to go in. Look, it doesn't make a lot of sense if you see it like this, right? You might argue, okay, she doesn't have Q. She doesn't have E, right? And this is a Jinx. But you're still in a 1 versus 2 situation. You're standing in their minion wave, so you're going to soak this minion aggro onto you. They're not going to take any minion aggro. And there's still going to be 2 people auto-attacking onto you. So they should still win, right? If they literally just auto-attack you, they will win.
Yeah.
Because your Morgana isn't here. Yeah, we take the turret, and then we reset, and we go mid lane. You tell your mid lane to go bot, right? You didn't listen as good this game. The higher you climb, the quicker they will listen, and the more they will listen. And now, why do you go mid lane? Because what would the next objective be in the bot lane? This turret. But now you would be even further away from safety, so you can easily get collapsed. So we say no, right? We're not going to do that. You can also just go mid lane and also take a turret here. You can take this turret and it's going to be a lot more safer. So right now you can push to a turret in relatively a safely manner, because you have many escape tools and the lane is not as long to run you down. Second tool is prio. You are in the middle of the map right now. So if you should, in theory, and I like for you to do this in lower eras, you should shove every single wave in the mid lane as fast as possible. Always. That's your mid game plan. You go to mid, the moment you see a wave in mid lane, you push it as fast as possible. Not always possible. If they have a nocturne, he's going to ult you. But in most games, in 70% of your games, the second you see a minion wave here, you push it. The reason for that is, look what happens when you push a wave. Somebody collects it. If they don't collect it, they will miss a lot of minions, and you might take a turret for free if there's nobody to defend. So they're going to walk here to say, if Lucian walks up, I can defend the turret, plus I need to collect this minion wave. That's why they stay here. So that means right now, do you have to be here? No. You could say, I'm going to ignore the Z, he's not strong, I'm going to take for the turret. But this game he was strong, so you always have the option of also saying, I can do whatever I like right now. Because I keep somebody in the enemy team occupied, the Z or the enemy bot lane or whatever, so now I can do whatever I want. Do we want to collapse his bot lane? Sure we can. Do we want to collapse top lane? Sure we can. Do I not want to do that? Do I want to go for Herald? Sure I can. Does my team are they not interested in doing anything? Literally, they're not willing to do anything. I just go to Raptor Camp and farm. I can guarantee you this guy will not go bot. He will go typically to mid lane or hover here for a fight. Look, he sees you take the wave. He goes mid lane. And now we're in the struggle again of, hey, we kind of didn't want to be here. We don't want to shove this out because we're unsafe. So now we're not going to take the next waves here. We're going to lose gold. And if we go mid, we're going to be sharing gold and XP with Silas. So instead, we should have immediately walked mid lane. Right. So typically always go mid lane. Because if you go side, your teammates are going to go to the mid lane, and now it's going to be difficult to get them out. Look, Silas is still here. He's still not here. It's so impossible to get them out of the mid lane in the lower eaters. For some reason, they like to hang around teammates. Maybe it's because they feel more safe. But look, he's still here. He is still here. Now he's hovering with Lucian. Like, what is this guy doing? I have no clue. He's level 10 versus level 13 Z because he's not doing anything. Right?
Yeah.
It's because we baited him into it. It's so easy. If we walk mid lane, he's going to feel forced to go bot lane because it's the only lane where he can farm. And now he is a better player. He's in your same game. He's the same player, but he's a better player. Because you played better, and therefore it's harder for him to make mistakes. So here, I tell you don't move yet. I tell you, take the wave. So we take the wave, so we don't lose a lot of gold. And now look, because you take the wave, Jinx feels forced to say, ah shit, I need to farm. Lucian is farming. I need to farm. I'm already behind. I'm level 10. He's level 12. I need to farm to stay in the game. So what happens? Look, you move, and they have to follow. You will be here first. So who is going to win this fight? Number advantage. We always think of number advantage. 2 versus 2, who should win? Well, it's going to be even. This guy's already low, though, so it's probably going to win for these guys. But you will add 2 numbers to the fight, and it will be temporarily a 4 versus 2 until these guys join. But is that enough to kill these guys? Yes. So look what happens. We move to this fight. And boom. Right now, this is a 4, or this was now, Lucian died, but it was still a 3 versus 2. Because these guys are not here yet. They had to follow. Just because you pushed in the wave. That's why I tell you, do dragon, do something, force something. If all of this didn't happen, you could just push, and if you see that an enemy is overextended in the side lane, ping your support to follow you and collapse the enemy in the side lane. Nobody can follow you because they were stuck farming minions. And if they give up the minion wave, you could say, I'm not going to fight this, I'm going to back off. Because now they gave up minions, so you already won something. You don't have to fight this anymore. You could, but you don't have to. When you take jungle camps, kite towards the turret as well. What you do here, look, you waited way too long with kiting towards the turret. These things, you can finish them off here. So you could have already stand here. So you could have soaked XP from the wave here. All these little things are important. Because these are all little things that people in this elo don't do. So if you do all of those little things and you get that little bit extra XP, you're going to be so fat. You're right now already, you're 13 and Jinx is what? I can't click on Jinx for some reason. But I'll find her on the map and that way I'll show you. Jinx is just level 12. You're an entire level ahead. So if you do this strategy, you take even more jungle camps, you do them faster, you soak also XP, you get quicker to the wave, and you get more gold, more minions. It's going to be even more than 1 level. It's going to be 2, 3 levels. And that makes it even more ridiculous how strong you are compared to everybody in this team. So these small things really do add up. Okay, now you have prio. We don't dance. I don't do dancing. Right? I don't do this. Next wave is here. So you can do something right now. What can you do right now? I don't know. Right? Baron with your team, can you pressure it? Probably not. Right? Could you go here? Well, you could potentially ward with your Morgana. You could do something. You could, even if it's only walking here, sitting in this bush, placing a ward over this wall perhaps. If somebody walks by, Q with Morgana and ult him. Dragon is about to spawn, you might pick somebody off. But this is also not doing a lot, because there might not be somebody here and then you didn't do anything. But at the very least, you tried. If you dance here, nothing is going to happen. So we know that the enemy bot lane is here stuck, or that they were stuck. We know that Zed is here. So now we have all the time in the world to force something with Skarner being here as well. So like this. Okay, walk up. You can also be a bit more aggressive. Trinimir walks onto you. You can immediately exhaust. He is useless with exhaust. Look, how tilting is this for him? His job is to go onto you and deal damage to you. And like I said, the moment he doesn't have ult anymore, you as an ADC become super more valuable than a Trinimir. So you exhaust, his ult is useless, and now you just kill him. Right? That's why exhaust is so good in these matchups. You make their key ability useless. It's the same when you play versus champions who have a lot of CC. When you play versus Maokai ulti. versus maybe Lissandra ulti, then cleanse is super, super good. Then it's not exhaust, and it's cleanse that you want to go. Because then cleanse makes sure that their key ability is useless. Or when you play versus Ari Charm. Now I wouldn't take cleanse if they only have an Ari Charm. But what if they have like Maokai ult, Twisted Fate gold card, Amumu jungle with ult. Then I would, if they have many of those abilities, I know for fact that I won't be able to dodge all of them in game, that I won't be able to position well enough to avoid getting hit by all of them. I'm going to have to tank one to play the game, at the very least. So at least I can go cleanse then. So then cleanse is the replacement of exhaust in those games. And then here you go way too deep. And I told you, like literally here, abandon this fight. After killing the Trinimir, I told you abandon this fight. Like I wouldn't do this. Here I said, no, I wouldn't fight this. Because that was coming, right? We literally saw him walk like this. So that is coming. And that's the reason why, boom, you're going to get destroyed here.
Yeah, because I remember you said Zed is bot side, and then I think like 20 seconds passed out of that fight. So realistically, Zed would have walked up, but I didn't know. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and that's super, super important. If I play Lucian, like you hear that, right? In the game, I'm always like, before a fight, I always tell you, okay, wait Zed ult, wait Trinimir ult, wait Malphite ult. I always tell you those things to give you the idea of what would I be thinking of when I play League as Lucian ADC in this game. How would I approach it? I would want to play around this ult, try to avoid them. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you have to deal damage even though they have them up, or you might lose the fight anyway. But you typically want to wait for those ults, right? That's what I'm always thinking of. So here, while I'm walking, there's only one thing in my mind. That's why I could tell you Zed is coming, be careful. Because I'm always thinking of Zed. I'm not thinking of Malphite here. Malphite doesn't have ult anymore. So for me, he's a useless piece of rock. He's nothing right now in my eyes. He's a free kill. Unless Zed comes. Yeah, we can't walk up right now for mid. Because Dragon is about to spawn. High probability that they would try to catch you off with Tryndamere, with Malphite ult, with Lux ult. So we wait. We take Raptor camp. Immediately go here into Wolf camp. Again, you can't contest Jinx. You can't. So Wolf camp into mid wave. Right? That's how I think right now.
So then what would you do? Like is the jungle not going to tilt that you're clearing his jungle?
No. Did Lee Sin tilt this game?
No.
No. Do you know why? Do you know what the difference is? I wouldn't go here and take his red buff. Right? The difference is, I'm not going to take camps typically when my Lee Sin is on that side of the map or when he's looking to farm it. If he's on his red buff, I'm not going to take his raptors. Because he might want to take this after that. If he's on his red buff and the raptors are up, I'm going to skip this side because he's here. I'm going to go to this side. Right? I'm going to take his wolves and his gromp. Well, he's taking red and raptors. That's what I'm going to do. I will never take camps on the side of the map where my jungler is or when he's showing intention to farm. Why did we take raptors even though he was on the top side of the map? Because look where he was at the moment where we took raptors. I remember very, very well. Wait, I need to postpone. Yeah, look. I tell you go raptors. Why? Lee Sin is here. He was standing still here for like quite a while. He was typing. He was not busy with farming at all. He's standing here, not showing any intention. So I told you, hey, this is a moment to do raptors here. It's free gold and Lee Sin is not showing to farm it. So now I go to bot, I take his blue, and he can take his red buff meanwhile. And he will show no intention to go to wolves because he's on this side of the map. And his Krugs are about to spawn. So he can farm still. I'm just farming another side of the map. And this is good as well, because these camps are overdue. You did W, now you E, and now you auto-attack.
Yeah, I missed two, yeah.
So if you do W and then E and auto-attack, yes, you miss two auto-attacks, you also miss cooldown on your E. Look what happens to my E here. Look to my cooldown. So I W and now I E. There goes off, but only two attacks, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you want to first E, two auto attacks, W, two auto attacks, Q, two auto attacks, E, two auto attacks. So you can even make it faster. So the real fast combo would actually be this. Like the real good combo is you first E, auto attack, W, bomb, and now you're gonna have your E after your W. So you E again first and then you Q. Right? So you can take note of this. I don't know if you noticed, but so typically when you do a full combo, what theoretically would be best is not best when you have Navori in your games. So if I do it very slow, I'm going to show you. I do E, right? Two auto attacks, W, two auto attacks, and now I have my E. So instead of doing Q, two auto attacks, and now E, now I have to wait for abilities. So instead of doing that, I'm going to do something very simple. I'm going to E, to auto text, W to auto text, and not Q, but already E to auto text, Q to auto text, and now I have my E up again. Right? Now I can do whatever I want. You see? So your full combo will always be E to auto text, W to auto text, E to auto text, Q to auto text. Right?
So at that point, your W. So if you do E to auto attack, W auto attack, E, then Q, then E, I think by that time your W is back up again. So would you be able to like?
Yeah, you might.
continuously-
You
you
might
try that?
indeed. Yeah, let's see. So W up. I have E up again. Q up again. E up again. W up again. E up again. Q up again. Yeah, you can play around with this. It's insane, actually.
Holy shit!
So that's how broken it is, right? Now this
Yeah,
is gonna
it's
cost you some, this is gonna cost you some time in team fights. Typically, you one tap people after you do the initial E auto attack, W auto attack, E auto attack, Q auto attack. That's typically one tap, and this is the fast combo on Lucian, right? So you do the E into 2 auto attacks, W into 2 auto attacks, E into 2 auto attacks, Q into 2 auto attacks. Typically, that's enough to one tap, and then you can obviously follow up with ult. So you can do something like this. Yep.
So for ability haste, we only have Novori, right? We don't have anything else.
You have your Ionian boots, right? But I didn't select them because I have Futures Market for some reason, Magical Footwear for some reason. Okay.
Coach, thank you very much. Thank you for the time that you put. Yeah, I'll implement all these and we'll be in contact soon.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for choosing me as a coach. Always nice.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. Good luck with your climb, and like I said, keep me up to date, right?
Sure, thank you. Take care of
Okay,
yourself.
perfect. Bye, man. Bye.